lowest prices for over 30 years. Find what you love only at Total Wine & More.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
When your car needs trusted care, think All Around Auto Body in Schaumburg. Family owned for over 30 years, they deliver high-quality collision repair and dependable service from start to finish. Call 847-352-3825. They're located at 501 Morse Avenue in Unit D. Get your vehicle back in shape with the experts who care. All Around Auto Body, where your car is treated like family. Call 847-352-3825 today. Proud sponsors of America's First Responders Fest.
Welcome into the WRMN News Hour. My name is Dennis Green. Our top stories today: planes, trains, and automobiles. 5 things you need to know about this year's Thanksgiving Odyssey. An audit to examine credit card spending in District 214 after former employee charged with misuse. And a Des Plaines man is charged with armed robbery of a Mount Prospect grocery store. Stick around, we've got lots of news here in this hour. Head on over to WRMN, that's WRMN 1410 on your AM dial, or over at WRMN1410.com to find more stories and more things happening here in the Fox River Valley. Our first story as we come today here is a Round Lake Beach man has been identified as the driver killed after the freight train collided with a landscaping truck in Elgin. You can read more in the Lake and McHenry County Scanner. Go to lakemchenryscanner.com. A Round Lake Beach man has been identified as the driver killed after a freight train struck his landscaping truck in Elgin, as investigators say the driver had only seconds notice of the incoming train. The Elgin Police Department and Elgin Fire Department responded around 6:30 a.m. on October 23rd to the area of State Street north of Locust Street for a vehicle crash involving a train. Officers arrived and found a pickup truck with a trailer which belonged to an Elgin-based landscaping company, Cornerstone Partners Horticulture Services, with 3 occupants inside the truck. The pickup truck had been struck by a Union Pacific train at the railroad crossing on State Street, police said. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene inside the heavy damaged truck. 2 truck passengers were hospitalized for injuries. The Kane County Coroner's Office identified the driver to Lake and McHenry County Scanner on Monday as Martin Martinez Jimenez, 56, of Round Lake Beach. The National Transport Safety Board, NTSB, last week released its preliminary report on the crash and the circumstances surrounding it. The Union Pacific Railroad locomotive was traveling northbound when it struck the Ford F-250 pickup truck, which was southbound on State Street. Visibility was dark but clear with no precipitation at the time of the crash, the report said. Rail traffic in the area operates at 30 miles per hour permanent speed restriction. The crossing was equipped with active warning devices, including flashing lights, bells, and gates on the roadway approaching from both directions. The The train was returning to Union Pacific Belvedere Yard in Belvedere after completing work in the Union Pacific Proviso Yard and West Chicago Yard. The report said the crew, a conductor, and an engineer had been on duty since 8 p.m. the previous day. Event record data showed the train approached the crossing traveling about 27 miles per hour. The review of the locomotive outward-facing image recorder showed roadway traffic traversing the crossing in the seconds before the collision, the report said. The event and image records showed that the train's whistle sounded for the first time and the crossing's warning devices activated when the train was near the edge of the crossing. Federal regulations call for grade crossing warning systems to provide a minimum of 20 seconds of warning. The truck entered the crossing from the train's right immediately before the collision was struck while in motion, the report said. The train engineer applied the brakes shortly after impact and brought the train to a stop north of the crossing. The NTSB responded to the scene, and their investigation remains ongoing with future investigation activity focusing on Union Pacific's operating rules, policy, and training. The investigation will also look at the performance of the train detection technology used by the highway railroad grade crossing warning systems. When we come back, we'll take a look at the rest of the week's weather and also give you some of those tips of the travel of planes, trains, and automobiles. 5 things to know about this year's Thanksgiving Odyssey. Stick around. You're listening to the WRMN News Hour.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has 2 convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. Now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice. In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast, right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
To the WRMN News Hour, I'm Dennis Green. High of today is 52 with a low of 32. Tomorrow, the sun will start to peek out with a high of 34 and a low of 24. Thursday, same partly cloud coverage for a high of 31 and a low of 20. And Friday, we continue our trend of clouds, sunshine, and dipping temperature as we hit to a high of 30 on Friday and a low of 22. An audit to examine credit card spending in District 214 after former employee charged with misuse. Northwest Suburban High School District 214 has ordered an audit of its purchasing card spending practices after a former school building and grounds supervisor was charged with misuse the card he was assigned. The 8-week review by the Oak Brook office of accounting firm Baker Tilly will assess internal controls and approval hierarchies, review card holder usage and documentation practices, and identify potential gaps or inefficiencies, said Justin Attaway, the district associate's superintendent of business services. Auditors will examine all transactions on the district-issued cards, commonly referred to as P cards, for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. There are currently 91 cards assigned to various departments and individuals across the school's district, including building and ground supervisors, administrators, and sponsors of student activities. Officials initiated the review after Jorge V. Villagomez, 42, the former Prospect High School building and ground supervisor, was charged October 3rd with theft of government property on allegations of using a district credit card to make more than $37,000 worth of purchases at Home Depot. The Arlington Heights-based school district filed a report with police in August after an initial internal audit of expenditures noted repeated unauthorized purchases at various Home Depot stores throughout the Chicago area starting in January. The purchases were primarily of power tools and increments of $250 or more than $2,000, police said. Baker Tilly's investigation is expected to include on-site visits to interview employees and examine documents, a data analyst to identify spending by individual department employees in category such as food, equipment, and travel, and evaluation of how transactions are reviewed and reconciled monthly, according to the engagement letter. Pat Mogg, the district's director of community engagement and outreach, said their work will help strengthen safeguards to ensure our processes remain aligned with best practices. The accounting firm already conducts routine audit work for the district, but the latest assessment at a price of $45,000 expands the scope to a targeted review of purchasing and oversight practices, Mogg said. He said the district regularly reviews card permissions and limits to ensure alignment with policy, purchasing needs, and accountability expectations. Credit limits vary depending on the purpose of the card, from $2,500 to $25,000. District employees are required to sign a P-card user agreement, Mogg added. The auditor will present a record of its findings with a recommended action plan in early 2026. We've got one more story before we hit our break here. We had to take a bold step, says Elk Grove Village, as they provide $27 million in a loan to an ice rink developer. Elk Grove Village will give a developer $27 million zero-interest loan to help pay for the indoor ice rink now taking shape on the west side of town. Nick Panopoulos Jr., a Mount Prospect-based development firm, Nicholas and Associates Incorporated and Wingspan Development Group will have 20 years to pay back the loan under term of redevelopment agreement he inked with the village board. Papa Nicholas, who recently opened an ice rink in Rosemont and also owns rinks in Mount Prospect and Vernon Hills, include a personal guarantee declaration in the set of real estate documents approved by village trustees last week. They also signed off on a sale of the 9.7-acre property of the northwest corner of Meacham and Beisterfield Road to Papa Nicholas for $4.5 million. The village purchased the property for the same amount last January from 4 limited liability companies that long controlled the site. Also part of the sale, for $1 each, are 2 retail outlots that Papa Nicholas will lease to food service users, according to Mayor Craig Johnson. The village is fronting the $27 million coming from general fund reserves to kickstart the project, and with the hope of future sales tax proceeds generated by the redevelopment, the mayor said. Johnson said in a statement that the area for 30-something years has been like a desert, so we had to take a bold step, and it's not like we're doing this with someone who's never done it before. Read more about it over at the Daily Herald. Go to thedailyherald.com. When we come back, we've got a news alert and press release from the Aurora Police Department. They have recognized and announced the identities of the 2 suspects in the shooting at the Two Brothers Roundhouse. We've got more of that and our headline story of planes, trains, and automobiles. 5 things to know about this year's Thanksgiving Odyssey. Marnie Pike has it all written right there in the Daily Herald. Head on over to thedailyherald.com. It's currently 22 minutes past the hour. We'll be right back with the WRMN News Hour.
Hi there, Tammy Scully here from Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. Join me and my sidekicks, Nancy and Becky, for valuable lifestyle tips and unique views and insights on interesting topics and everyday situations, providing nonstop fun and chuckles for all. Get the scoop on consumer news, deep dive on current events, and learn about the newest economic trends, from exercise and gardening to music, travel, recipes, sports, pets, real estate, media, and everything in between. And it's all sprinkled with a healthy helping of bad dad jokes and interesting fun facts to boot. Tune in Mondays through Thursdays from 2 to 4 p.m. for a little fun, frolic, and infotainment. Join us, won't you?
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
to the WRMN News Hour. It just crossed 25 past the hour. Welcome in. I'm Dennis Green. A press release from the Aurora, Illinois Police Department. Head on over to Facebook and find them there. This is for immediate lease for Kane County Coroner release additional details of Saturday evening shooting. As the investigation continues into Saturday night's shooting at Two Brothers Roundhouse, the Aurora Police Department and Kane County Coroner's Office are releasing additional information to help the community understand the circumstances behind this tragic incident. On November 22nd, just around 9:10 p.m., Aurora Police Dispatch received multiple 911 calls for shots fired at 205 North Broadway, Two Brothers Roundhouse. When officers arrived, they located 3 victims suffering from gunshot wounds. Detectives from the Aurora Police Department Investigations Division responded to the scene along with evidence technicians to begin a comprehensive investigation. As the investigation progressed, the Kane County Coroner's Office was requested to the scene. Quote, the Kane County coroner responded to an incident at the Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora, which occurred on November 22nd, 2025. 2 descendants were transported to the Kane County coroner's office. The 2 individuals have been positively identified as Jasmine Barclay, age 24 of Aurora, and Brian Heineman, age 43 of Naperville, said the Kane County coroner, Dr. Monica Silva. On behalf of my entire staff, I wish to relay our deepest condolences to the loved ones of Miss Barclay and Mr. Heineman. Unquote. The preliminary investigation shows that the suspect, Brian Heineman, and Jasmine Barclay had been in a dating relationship. On Saturday evening, Barclay and a 33-year-old male were together on the upper balcony of the Roundhouse Music Room when Heineman entered the business. Evidence suggested he went there specifically to confront the pair and may have learned their location from social media posts. Moments after approaching them, Heineman opened fire, striking both victims before turning the gun on himself. Barclay was transported to Mercy Hospital, where she was pronounced deceased due to gunshot wounds. The 33-year-old male remains in critical condition in the ICU. Heineman was pronounced deceased at the scene. No bystanders were struck by gunfire or injured. A firearm was recovered near Heineman, along with additional evidence consistent with witness statements. According to Aurora Police Chief Matt Thomas, quote, this was a deeply traumatic event for the victims, their families, and employees, the patrons who were there, and the community as a whole. People simply trying to enjoy their night out were suddenly confronted with targeted violence. Our hearts are with the victims, their families, and every member of our community who is still processing what they experienced. There are community support resources. The Aurora Police Department recognizes how deeply an event like this can affect witnesses and the broader community and encourages anyone struggling to reach out. Individuals seeking assistance can contact APD's Crisis Intervention Unit at 630-256-2483. Please note this is a non-emergency line and may not be monitored around the clock. If someone is experiencing a mental health crisis or needs immediate help, they should call 988 or 911. Investigation into the incident remains ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to call the Aurora Police Department's Investigation Division at 630-256-5500. When we come back, planes, trains, and automobiles. 5 things to know about this year's Thanksgiving Odyssey. Marnie Pike will tell us, can I bring homemade gravy on a carry-on? And how cheap is gas in Wisconsin? Stick around, more news ahead.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Cintas. Joliet police say an 18-year-old man, Jalen Davis, is facing multiple charges after a series of early morning burglaries Thursday. Officers say Davis threw a brick through a dollar store, then broke into a Wendy's, damaging registers and a safe, and attempted to enter a nearby Dunkin'. Police recovered stolen merchandise and tools they believe were used in the crimes. Davis was arrested, charged with burglary and other offenses, and later released from jail as the investigation continues. Plainfield police say an active incident near Crossing Drive and Springview Court Sunday night was peacefully resolved after nearly 2 hours. Authorities had asked residents to avoid the area, but the alert was lifted just before 8:45 p.m. No further details have been released. The Kane County coroner has identified the driver killed last month in an Elgin train crash. 56-year-old Martin Martinez Jimenez died when a Union Pacific locomotive collided with his landscaping truck on State Street on October 23rd. 2 others were injured. The preliminary NTSB report shows Jimenez had little warning of the oncoming train. Recorders indicate the train's whistle and crossing signals were activated only moments before the collision after vehicles had already entered the tracks. The investigation is ongoing. Millions of Amazon Prime customers will get automatic refunds after a $2.5 billion FTC settlement. Regulators say Amazon used deceptive tactics to sign people up and made it hard to cancel. Eligible customers, those enrolled between 2019 and 2025 with limited Prime use, will get up to $51. Tragedy struck Saturday night at Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora, where a shooting left 2 dead, including the suspected shooter and 1 person in critical condition. Police say the 3 victims knew each other and the incident appears to be related to domestic violence. Authorities confirm there is no ongoing threat to the community. The Aurora Police Department and Kane County Coroner are investigating, and anyone with information is urged to come forward. The brew pub has since reopened after temporarily closing. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Welcome to downtown Elgin, where businesses, community, and creativity come together. The Downtown Neighborhood Association provides valuable, complimentary services to all downtown businesses, organizations, property owners, and residents, helping you gain exposure and thrive. Whether you're already part of the district or exploring a new downtown location, DNA is here to help your vision grow. Join us in creating a vibrant, connected, and successful downtown Elgin. Call now 847-488-1456, or you can email info@downtownelgin.com. Ask for Jennifer Facala. Downtown Neighborhood Association, where the heart of business beats strong.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. A wind advisory is in effect from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesday for the listening area. Currently, it is 48 degrees and overcast. Today, areas of fog are expected before noon, with cloudy skies and a high near 51. Temperatures will fall to around 49 in the afternoon. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
to WRMN 1410. That's WRMN 1410 on that AM dial. And of course, WRMN1410.com. Head on over there to see the schedule, listen, or watch live or the archive, whether that's audio or video archives. You can find all of that right there at WRMN1410.com. Today, we are going to get a high of 52 in this mostly cloudy day. Tomorrow, we get a little bit of that sunshine with a high of 34 and a low of 24. Thursday, for Thanksgiving, we get a little bit of that sunshine still, but we lose a couple of degrees for a high of 31, low of 20. Friday, clouds and sun still fight together in a day of high of 30 and a low of 22. Well, can I bring homemade gravy on a carry-on bag? How cheap is gas in Wisconsin? When's the worst day to drive home? And how long does it take to thaw a 16-pound frozen turkey? Well, Marnie Pike from the Daily Herald has a top story. Planes, trains, and automobiles. 5 things to know about this year's Thanksgiving Odyssey. Well, record breaker for Illinois. AAA estimates more than 4.1 million Illinoisans will jaunt 50 miles or more from home this holiday, an 1.8% uptick from 2024 and a state record. Across the U.S., 81.8 million people will travel for Thanksgiving, representing a 1.6 million increase from last year. Statewide, 88% of Voyagers will take a road trip, nearly 9% will fly somewhere, and 3% will journey by bus, train, or cruise ship. AAA forecasts. Well, when's the worst time to drive? Almost 9.2 million vehicles will traverse state tollways between Wednesday and Monday. The most congested day in the region will be Wednesday. The Illinois Tollway projects more than 1.8 million cars and trucks will hit the road compared to typical averages of 1.6 million. Officials noted drivers using rental cars can pay tolls using the pay-by-plate program at agency.illinoistollway.com pay-by-plate. Nationwide, INRIX traffic experts expect Tuesday and Wednesday will rack up the heaviest congestion. On the way home, most travelers will wait until Sunday to say their goodbyes, so expect busy roads, INRIX advised. The gas lowdown. As of Monday, our gallon of regular gas averaged $3.07 in the Chicago metro region, almost the same as 2024. AAA reported, but there's a wide fuel fluctuation from $2.87 to $3.44 in the suburbs, Gas Buddy showed. And if you're sojourning in the Midwest for the holidays, here's what to expect. Missouri had the lowest gas on average at $2.72 a gallon, followed by Wisconsin at $2.75, Iowa at $2.77, and Indiana at $2.89, and Michigan at $3.10. AAA records indicate. Here's the TSA outlook. The U.S. Transportation Security Administration predicts, quote, the Sunday after Thanksgiving will be one of the busiest travel days in TSA history, senior official Adam Shaw said. You know the drill. Get to the airport early, and adults need to bring real ID or passports for domestic flights. Meanwhile, pumpkin pie is fine as a carry-on, but liquids such as gravy must go in checked bags unless they're 3.4 ounces or less, the TSA warns. To learn more, visit tsa.gov/travel/security-screening/what-can-I-bring. For more information on all forms of acceptable documentation, visit tsa.gov/travel/security-screening/identification. And taking the train, over 100,000 Amtrak customers passed through Chicago's Union Station in 2024, a significant chunk of the 1.1 million U.S. passengers last Thanksgiving period. The commuter railroad reported the biggest crowds are projected on Sunday. Also, Amtrak data shows 81% of riders traveled less than 250 miles over the holiday. 11% ventured between 250 and 500 miles, and 5% went over that 500-mile mark. To book a trip, visit Amtrak.com. And, of course, if you miss this article, head on over to the Daily Herald, written by Marnie Pike. It's sitting there right at the top. Travel safe and have a fantastic Thanksgiving. We've got more stories here on the WRMN News Hour. Coming up, it's just about ready to pass 42 past the hour. We're marching our high of 52 degrees today. Stick around. We've got more great WRMN news and programming coming up after this.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
The road ahead can be unpredictable, but with the right partner, you're always moving forward. At Heartland Bank in Hampshire, we're with you. Every mile, every milestone. From savings to small business lending, we offer local decisions and personal service that gets you where you're going. Stop in at 819 Warner Street or call 847-683-4444. Heartland Bank, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest. Welcome back to the WRMN News Hour. I'm Dennis Green. Have you heard about WRMN1410.com? Well, it's a great place to go to listen to all your favorite WRMN 1410 programming and learn all about your favorite WRMN 1410 hosts. Head on over to WRMN1410.com to watch, listen, know, and subscribe. Soon we're going to have a news feed right there as well, so you can learn all about what's happening in the Fox River Valley directly from the sources. A Naperville man fatally shot in Arlington Heights is remembered as generous and entrepreneurial. A funeral will be held Tuesday for the Naperville man who was fatally shot last week in the Arlington Heights condominium complex where he worked. The service for Stephen M. Wegensberg, 53, is set for 10 a.m. at Congregation Beth Shalom, 772 West 5th Avenue in Naperville. A gravesite service will follow at Naperville Cemetery, 705 South Washington Street. Weisenberg's body was found Friday afternoon in a utility room of the building on the 1500 block of East Central Road in the Diana Point complex. Wegensberg was a property manager at Diana Point. Arlington Heights police confirmed. Wegensberg was shot by a Diana Point maintenance worker, 53-year-old Juan Medina of Palatine, police said. Medina then fatally shot himself in the same room, according to police. A handgun was found in the room. A motive hasn't been disclosed. Wegensberg and Medina had worked together about 5 years, Arlington Heights police said Monday. Find more information about this tragedy and the service to follow at the Daily Herald. U.S. Rep. Lauren Underwood on Monday called conditions inside the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Broadview terrible and warned that staffing is expected to triple by January at ICE facilities in Chicago area in anticipation of more immigration enforcement. The Democratic Congresswoman from Naperville told reporters she saw no detainees despite ICE having processed some people in Chicago area this weekend. The ICE acting director told Underwood the last time anyone stayed overnight at the facility was a couple weeks ago. ICE officers told Underwood there were no detainees or staffers because they were, quote, updating their systems and installing new security cameras. Underwood also staunchly warned that despite the departure of Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bavino from Chicago, targeted immigration operations in the area are not over. Underwood said, Border Patrol is not gone. Mr. Bavino might not be here now, but according to these folks today, Operation Midway Blitz is still a joint operation between Border Patrol and ICE, and they have not received any instruction around an end date. I would not make those assumptions that there's any kind of delay or reprieve. To read the full story, head on over to the ChicagoSunTimes.com. When we come back, we've got a few more things around the area. A Mount Prospect board gears up for immigration enforcement discussion. And we've got a few Facebook posts around the area to go through as well for all of the great events happening in the Fox River Valley. So stick around. We've got more WRMN News Hour after this.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-8255 800-400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest.
Clutter happens, but junk doesn't have to weigh you down. At the Junk Luggers, we're your full-service junk removal and hauling pros, tackling everything from single-item pickups to major cleanouts. We handle the heavy lifting, and with our commitment to the Green Way, we rehome and recycle to keep your unwanted items out of landfills. So, whether you're clearing out the garage, downsizing, or saying goodbye to old furniture, we make the process eco-friendly and easy. Call 1-800-LUGJUNK or visit junkluggers.com today. Let's save your space and the planet together.
Hey Bear fans, want your business heard during every heart-pounding moment of the game? WRMN 1410 is now offering in-game ad spots for Chicago Bears broadcasts. Be part of the action as thousands of die-hard listeners tune in each week. Whether it's a touchdown, a turnover, or a timeout, your message will be right there in the mix. Spots are limited and going fast. Call WRMN 1410 today and score big with in-game advertising that delivers results. WRMN 1410, where Chicago comes to play. Get in the game with the Chicago Bears and WRMN.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs. It's probably the best thing you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the WRMN News Hour. Valor Chimney Services in Elgin reminds everyone that the blood you donate gives someone another chance at life. Someday that someone might be a friend, a loved one, or even you. So please give blood and give the gift of life. This message courtesy of Valor Chimney Services in Elgin. Trust their years of expertise for all your chimney sweep and repair needs. Call Valor Chimney Services at 224-227-6166. That's 224-227-6166. We head on over to Mount Prospect, where the Mount Prospect Board gears up for immigration enforcement discussion. Mount Prospect Mayor Paul Hofert said the village board will likely discuss possible action in response to federal immigration enforcement at its December 2nd meeting. Recent meetings have been dominated by public comments from residents demanding village board action and pointing to neighboring communities that have passed resolutions or ordinances. Last week, village board meeting featured more than an hour of public comment. Beth Dukes, who said an ordinance prohibiting information sharing with federal agents and banning enforcement on the village property would go a long way toward regaining trust from the residents. Quote, "Our presence is a direct reflection of the community's growing frustration and demand for accountability." Speakers like Ronak McFadden urged the board to make a motion to adopt an immigration enforcement policy. McFadden said, quote, "There is no neutral when there is a group of people being oppressed. When you are neutral, you are the oppressor." Hofert made it clear there would be no debate while comments would be taken under advisement. He said the village had issued a statement that was both empathetic and practical. Not all speakers favored formal board action. Debbie Giavargas said, "Just as I believe it's harmful to stop local law enforcement, I believe it would be inappropriate for the village to spend the time and money to pass a resolution against federal law enforcement." Along with calls for action were suggestions that the village board members could face consequences in the upcoming election. Cook County Commissioner Kevin Morrison noted trustees William Grossi, Colleen Sacatelli, and Vince Dante are up in next election cycle. Dante said Morrison was out of order in making that suggestion, noting Morrison is running for Congress. Morrison said Hofert could use his executive authority to ban agents from village property. Hofert disagreed, saying any decision on the issue would be made by the entire board. Weather Service warns about snow expected in the Chicagoland area during the post-Thanksgiving travel weekend. We'll see, but according to Lake and McHenry County Scanner, the Weather Service is warning that there is a potential for accumulating snow that could impact post-Thanksgiving travel this weekend in the Chicago area. The National Weather Service said Monday morning that there's a potential for accumulating snow-related travel impacts on Saturday. The forecast already shows a 60% chance of snow for Saturday, but it's too early to narrow down specific details within the system, the National Weather Service said. The National Weather Service said the snowfall could be, quote, noteworthy and result in snow-covered roads into Saturday evening. The Thanksgiving week forecast shows a switch to sharply colder temperatures and high winds late Tuesday evening into Wednesday. Light rain and drizzle is expected Monday evening into Tuesday morning. Areas of fog may result in localized poor visibility. A powerful cold front will sweep across the area this evening with strong westerly winds gusts up to 45 miles per hour and temperatures in the 30s for the busy travel day on Wednesday. The National Weather Service said Thanksgiving Day is expected to be blistery and cold, with early morning wind chills of 6 to 15 degrees. While it is expected to be quiet but cold on Friday, snow could develop on Friday evening. The exact amount of snow in northern Illinois is not known, but various weather models all predict over 3 inches of snow from Friday to Sunday. The winter weather comes amid forecasters saying that they believe the end of November and beginning of December is favored to be colder, possibly active start. This December, in a change from other recent Decembers, appears to be headed towards colder start to a meteorological winter of 2025 and 26, the National Weather Service said. Find out more at LakeMcHenryScanner.com and follow us on all of the different social media platforms that are out there, YouTube, Facebook, and of course the WRMN1410.com website. Stick around, we've got more great WRMN programming coming up right after this. I'm Dennis Green. This has been the WRMN News Hour.